be one of my favorites. Our next bird, Skylander, is more of a combination between a bird and an elf, being Fright Rider, with Rider being known as the elf and Fright being the ostrich, a large bird that can't fly. Although the ostrich is referred to as Fright and the ostrich in-game, in the books he's actually named Ozzy. Either way, why is Ozzy dead? Well, the elf and Ozzy were, quote, the finest jousting team in Skyland, but a jealous competitor had given the elf a curse that apparently, quote, sent him to the land of the undead, to which Ozzy, being a very scared ostrich and wanted to stick by the elf, he, quote, ate a bag of skella oats that turned him into a skeleton so that he can embrace the journey to the underworld to save his friend, and has since then become one of the only duo Skylanders, as they are released during Wave 1 in a single pack, and a triple pack during Wave 4 with the reposes of Wrecking Ball and Flameslinger, with his first attack simply being named Melee Attack, cycling between the elf hitting with his weapon and Ozzy reaching the bite. And this is an attack that can actually combo, as tapping the first attack button twice, then holding it for the third tap, Ozzy will shove his head into the ground, then he'll pop his head out, and gives insane knockback to anyone nearby. And their second attack, Jousting Charge, bringing them back to their roots, as it's your ordinary jousting attack, which can be used as a mobility attack, and can easily push enemies back, causing multiple hits. Both of Fright Rider's first attacks are pretty good, since they're references to their origin story and work incredibly well, with his next couple upgrades helping out a lot, as the first upgrade, Ghoul Glaive, giving the elf spear more damage. As the spear itself will look visually different, it's actually really nice, as besides the damage, now you can visibly see what's different. Then there's Burrow Bomber, now being their third attack. By holding the third attack button, Ozzy gets to go underground, as you can control where he goes, and by letting go, the elf will immediately follow Ozzy in whatever direction he went to. It's cute, I guess, and not terrible, but the elf is put in a very vulnerable position, as he's just stuck standing still. But the idea behind the attack is really cool and creative. The last two normal upgrades are both damage increases, with Phantasm Strike being for the joust, and Halberd of Horror being for the melee attack, with it again visually changing the design of the spear, which is a detail that, as previously mentioned, I really like and do appreciate.
Hey, can I say the thing? Yay, now it's time for Fright Rider's paths.
His top half is named Sir Lancelot, which focuses on the melee attacks, with his first upgrade being Fright Rider combos. Real nice name there. It provides two new combos that you can do. By tapping the first attack button twice, then holding the second attack button, he'll perform Spear Volt, where the elf gets off of Ozzy and does a massive slam with his spear, as it also sends a wave that can cause damage. As for the other combo, by tapping the first attack button twice, and now holding the third attack button, he'll perform Skull Slam. Ozzy will hold his head up, where he can still move around, but once you let go of the button, he slams his head on the ground. Besides the fact that I hope he's okay, I don't like birds getting hurt. Both combos are really useful given the circumstances, are really cool to see, and utilizes both of the different characters' aspects that make them unique. Flock of Fury is where you hold the first attack button, sparkles will flash around Fright Rider, indicating that the attack can be used, where multiple dead ostriches will pop out of the ground. I love it, especially if a bunch of enemies are attacking you. You can use the attack to cover a wide area. And then there's Supreme Spear, where it's the max amount of damage that the spear can do, basically a damage upgrade for the spear, and once again giving a visual change for the spear. This is one of my personal favorite spears he has, and this path is just amazing, as it gives plenty of really great upgrades for the spear. But does that mean that his bottom path, named the Joust Jockey, isn't useful? Well, let's find out. This path revolves around the jousting attack, as the first upgrade, named the Joust Juice, is where the jousting's faster and does more damage. Entombment Strike, while performing the second attack, press the third attack button, Ozzy will hide underground, and the elf will fly in the air. Then he'll slam his spear onto the ground, causing a fair amount of damage and giving tons of knockback. Lastly, there's 360 degrees of spear. Again, while jousting, press the first attack button, to which the elf will swing around his spear in a 360 motion. Listen, I love the idea of this upgrade, but it has its downsides. It does less damage compared to the main attack, and also has this weird lag if he hits someone. I really feel like it could have benefited if it had knockback. The bottom path is just okay, but I'm still gonna be sticking with the top path. His soul gem is named the Real Drag. After getting dragged by Ozzy during the third attack, the elf spear will drag enemies if they get hit by it, giving good knockback when it's over. Not bad, but how could I criticize Fright Rider? If it isn't obvious, I like them. The idea behind their character is creative, their playstyle is fun. How could they not bring him back? They did not bring him back. Technically speaking, Fright Rider is the other forgotten Skylander, as out of all the new core characters from Giants, Fright Rider is the only one to never be brought back in a later game. Although, he doesn't have it as bad compared to Sunburn, as in Giants he was given a glow-in-the-dark variant, but it wasn't released in America, and only in places like the United Kingdom and Australia. Fright Rider would also get a special Halloween variant, which you would have a chance of getting if you bought a specific free-to-lay bag. But despite the unique image of Fright Rider on the bag, the Halloween variant, alongside the glow-in-the-dark variant, would show up as a normal version of Fright Rider when tapping him into the game. I also think his death animation is really cute. Overall, Fright Rider is a great character, but many have considered him bad, which to some extent I kind of understand. But with Fright Rider, I love the idea around his character. With his attacks, backstory, and design, they made the duo one of my personal favorite birds. In fact, the prices for him are the only thing I'd say is bad. While the original Fright Rider is worth around $5, both of his chase variants are quite expensive given how difficult it was and still is to get them. For inbox prices, glow-in-the-dark Fright Rider goes for around $50 to $60, and the Halloween free-to-lay variant goes for crazy numbers. At bare minimum, he goes for over $100, and at most for $300.